there's something very hypocritical I've realized about us. And it's the idea that we would say we don't want something only when we achieved it. So here's what I mean. So I remember when I was in year 10, the year levels above me, for example, the people in university would tell me that your grades don't matter. Like your grades don't matter in school. And I get what they meant. I understood like in the long term, your grades aren't going to determine your future. And so I knew in the long term it didn't matter. But in the moment when I was in school, when I was going to class every single day, grades were everything. That was the only thing I was focused on. And if I got good grades, I would be extremely happy. If I got bad grades, I would be extremely sad. And that was even though I knew down the line these things don't matter. And now after I graduated high school, I got the good grades. I can say that, yeah, grades don't matter. But that doesn't change the fact that in the moment, I thought they did. Now, you might be wondering, okay, how does this relate to the title at all? This is about money doesn't matter. Here's what I mean. Because this trend continued. In university, people said the same thing. I wanted to get into med school, which is a very competitive degree. And people were like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, regardless of which degree you go down, you can still make it work. You can still achieve your goals, regardless of which degree. So getting into med doesn't matter. And yeah, again, I knew what they meant. I knew that down the line, it doesn't really matter what career. If you're generally hardworking, you'll be able to make it in any field. But in the moment, I wanted to get into med school. And so, again, I was obsessed about it. And the day I got into med school, I just had a massive sigh of relief. And now, a year later, after my first year, yeah, I understand what they're saying now. I guess med school doesn't matter in the sense that even if I took a different path, I would have still made it. There's nothing particularly like special about it. Now, that's not to diminish the career. I'm just saying that if you're genuinely hardworking, regardless of which career, I can definitely see how you'll be able to just succeed, just as, not easily, but you'll be able to do it depending on how hard you work, but also the direction you take yourself. Now, this is how it relates to the title. Because right now, I've been through those events. The event where people said grades don't matter, and then the stage where people said getting into med school doesn't matter. And now I'm on the other side of those two things, and I can see what they mean. Grades don't matter. Getting into med school doesn't matter that much in the long term. But now I'm at another one, which is money doesn't matter. And it's the same thing. If you hear everyone say, money doesn't matter, money doesn't buy happiness. But it's the same thing. They say that, and I know that's probably true, definitely is true, down the line. But that doesn't change the fact that that is one of my goals right now, to be able to retire my parents, to be able to be financially free. And so in the moment, money is a very important thing, even though it may not matter, let's say 20, 30 years down the line. And when I told my boss this, he essentially said that a way to overcome this is essentially just to manufacture the experience of achieving it. And I see where he's coming from, but I also partially disagree. Because when it comes to these goals, it's not like they're going to take 100 years. If it does, then there's probably a better way to go about it. And so when it comes to, let's say, making money, getting high grades, these are only endeavors that take a few years. And so trying to manufacture the experience isn't genuine. And also, it's only 2 years. You may as well just genuinely try and achieve it in reality rather than trying to fake it and trick your brain. So that's that. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because you may be going through something in your life right now where you have a goal in mind, but people are telling you that goal doesn't matter in the long term. But what they don't realize is that, yes, the goal that you're pursuing right now may not matter in the long term, but you still want to achieve that in order to get to the next step in your life. You want to quickly play the game to beat it so you can stop playing the game and you can play the next game that you want. So for example, whether that be grades, you want to get the high grades so you can stop playing that game, and then you want to get into the good degree so you can stop playing that game. You want to get money so you can become financially free and you can stop playing that game so you can eventually do what you want. And when I thought about this from a very just life philosophical perspective, it's kind of sad. I feel like a lot of these things are just ideas and ideals that society puts on us. Like, you should get high grades, you should get into a good degree, you should get money. And we can play the like very just wise person that doesn't care about all of this stuff and just becomes a monk and just ignores all of this. But that's very hard to do. And honestly, I feel like I can't do that. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to beat the game as fast as possible so I can stop playing it. So if you hear people say that money doesn't matter, but deep down you feel like it still does, then go for it, pursue it. Try and make as much money as you can, or whatever goal you have, getting high grades or getting to some degree. Yes, it may not matter like 50 years down the line, but again, that's not what's important now. So I just want to share that lesson with you, and yeah, hope that was useful. Take care.